Peace to all the leaders, achievers, hip-hop believers, and our beefers. This is www.whereisthebeef.co.za, and welcome to Rhyming 101. Just a little bit of advice to up-and-coming artists as to how to improve their rhyming game. Word up, my name is TheOveryt, the Where's the Beef butcher that controls the hype. And yeah, man, what we are going to be talking about today is how to actually come up with a conceptual tape. Now, before we get right into it, we need to talk about the difference between an album and a compilation. So when talking about a compilation tape, a compilation album is a general term used to refer to music release made up of songs not intended to be seen as single work. Compilation albums, frequently referred to as comps, are often made up of tracks by various artists, though they can sometimes feature a single artist. So it's basically a tape that consists of random tracks that don't lead to the next, and yeah, they don't relate to the concept, which is derived from the title of the tape. So now when you swing your attention to a conceptual album is an album in which its tracks hold a larger purpose or meaning collectively than they do individually. This is typically achieved through a single central narrative or theme, which can be instrumental, compositional, narrative, the lyrical aspects, or all the elements of the whole. So how to come up with the conceptual album? Well, first of all, we need to change or look at the concept of creating a conceptual album from a different point of view, especially when you look at albums from your Proverbs, your Zubs, your Doomies, your Motipas, etc. So one thing you will notice about these cats, that even though every track on the tapes, sound dope on their own, you'll notice how there's even a deeper reason as to why the tracks are placed in that particular order. So with that being said, right, it can be safe to say that an album can be likened to the book, where the title is the concept behind the body of work. Now with that being said, it can even be safer to say thereon that the songs within the actual body of work can be likened to a chapter of that very book, where one track leads to the next. So planning a conceptual album, before you can start recording your body of work, aka your tape, you need to come up with a name for that actual tape which actually resonates with you and resonates with the type of work that you want to actually put out to the people. So now that you got a name for your body of work, which is the original concept, you need to now come up with actual chapters for this book or for this album. So now you come up with the names of the tracks that you'd like to get put out on the actual album. And then now that you got concepts for the concepts, it's going to be a good idea to find a producer who gets you and the type of sound that you would like to put out in terms of beat selection and all that. And then now that you got your beats, you can now start writing. So now what most MCs do is actually have 15 songs within their album, and then have 5 tracks randomly put out. So the total number of beats that you need is approximately 20, and then you choose your best 15, and then the remaining 5 you either release as singles or you release later for archive purposes. So yeah, man, that was basically rhyming 101. Going back to the classical example, I'm going to be talking about Tupac with his release called Tupacalypse, and it's 13 tracks and all that, but every track, before you even listen to the music, you can tell that it leads to the next. So basically it starts with a young black male that is trapped, and that's track number 2. He's trapped because of the soldier's story, that's track number 3. So now within the soldier's story, he obviously doesn't give a fuck, which is track number 4, because they are violent, which is track number 5. And because people are violent, we all need words of wisdom, which is track number 6. And through the words of wisdom, we establish that there's something wicked, which is track number 7. And with that something wicked, or with that wicked something, you will peep a crooked ass nigga, which is track number 8. And then with track number 8, after that, there's a thing called If My Homie Calls, right? And then track number 10 is Brenda's Got a Baby. So if my homie calls, Brenda obviously has a baby, which causes me to be the lunatic, which is track number 11. Track number 12 is Rebel in the Underground, so a lunatic ends up being a rebel of the underground. And then yeah, man, track number 13 is Part-Time Mother, Word up. So yeah, man, that was Ramming 101 for the week. If you agree or disagree or feel like I could add, new or fresh elements to what we already been talking about, be sure to comment on the comment section below. But for more substance in abundance, be sure to log on to www.whereisthebeef.co.za, and don't just check me out. If you do want to know the deal, be sure to catch Miss Gabby for Fresh from the Grill. And yeah, man, be sure to also, like us on Facebook. We are Where Is the Beef. Follow us on Twitter. We are at Where Is the Beef. And as for me, I am TheOveryt, the Where's the Beef butcher that controls the hype. And I'll catch you on the flip. Word up.